The Walking Dead ended its Season 8 mid-season finale on the huge cliffhanger that Carl had been bitten and wasn't long for this world. It left fans wondering just when he got the fatal bite, as he didn't come anywhere near a walker during the action-packed episode, so we took it on ourselves to go back through Season 8 to date to find out when it looked like it actually happened. But it got us thinking about other questions and plot points left dangling by the mid-season finale, so we've rounded them up and offered some theories for your reading pleasure. 1. How exactly did Negan and the Saviors escape the sanctuary? It was set up in time for after that Eugene had a plan for the Negan and the Saviors to escape the walkers that Daryl and Tara had led into the sanctuary, ruining Rick's carry-late, but unexplained, plan. But in the mid-season finale, two people asked the Saviors how they got out. And they didn't have a response. All we know is that at some point between Eugene telling Negan his plan and Rick showing up at the sanctuary with the scavengers, Negan and co escaped unharmed and managed to organize themselves enough to target Alexandria, the hilltop and the kingdom simultaneously. And it's here where the biggest hint lies about Eugene's plan. When Simon refused to tell Maggie how they escaped, except to say that Eugene had something to do with it, and further, if she didn't comply with his demands, the Saviors would be able to lead the walkers to the hilltop and trap them like Rick tried to do. As he tells her this, music plays in the background, which hints that Eugene was able to repeat his iPod trick and lead all the walkers away. That's just our best guess though. 2. What happened to the scavengers? Surprise, surprise, the scavengers turned out to be garbage people. As soon as Rick came under fire at the sanctuary from Savior lookouts, JD's and her lot ran away, making Rick's whole attempt to get them on his side totally pointless. So they likely headed back to their junkyard. But, is this the last we're going to see of them? JD's must be running out of armored walkers by now. Rick is going to try and strike a deal with them again. 3. What happened next at Oceanside? We were given the Aaron and Enid subplot we always dreamed of in the mid-season finale, as it was revealed that we're on their way to Oceanside to get them to join the fight against Negan. Only it didn't quite work out that way, as Aaron got attacked and instead of talking things through or taking a non-lethal shot, Enid decided to shoot the attacker dead. The problem is that the attacker was Oceanside's leader, not Tanya, and the last we saw of Aaron and Enid, they were surrounded by Oceanside people while not Tanya's granddaughter Cindy cried over her body. We can't imagine this will lead on to a pleasant conversation about joining forces against a combined enemy, but given Aaron's former job as a recruiter for Alexandria, maybe he can eventually win Oceanside around. 4. What was that flash forward scene? Think right back to that Season 8 premiere when we saw old man Rick living a life of domestic bliss with Michonne and an older Carl. Originally we thought it was a flash forward, but we now know that's not true since Carl is dying, so perhaps this was just a vision that Rick has of a life he will never have. We also saw shaken, bleary-eyed Rick growling, "Mom, mercy prevails over Marath," and it's almost positive that this is related to Carl's death, although if it's aimed at him sparing Negan, then it's a bit harsh to blame him for Carl's bite. Showrunner Scott Gimple has promised that the flash forward/dream all fits together with this first half of the season. Everything about those shifts in episode 801 in the timeline or in the vision or whatever will absolutely be answered soon, and it has a great deal to do with everything you just saw in 808. It's all very tightly related, he added, so perhaps answers will be forthcoming in the mid-season premiere next year. 5. Is Dwight an Alexandrian now? Dwight showed his true colors to Laura when he gunned down some Saviors in the mid-season finale, with Laura shooting him in the arm before making her escape. That means Negan will surely know of Dwight's betrayal and there's no way he can go back to him, right? Well, maybe not quite. The mid-season premiere trailer seems to show Dwight moving through a crowd of Saviors, so perhaps somehow he will continue to be a double agent. After all, he did persuade the remaining Alexandrians not to kill him when he arrived at the sewer and promised to help them defeat the Saviors. 6. Where's that helicopter gone? Cast your mind back to episode 5, The Big Scary You, when after his scuffle with Daryl, Rick spotted a helicopter in the sky, only for it to never be seen again in the following 3 episodes. Some fans actually think it could belong to characters from Fear the Walking Dead, setting up the crossover which will see Morgan appear on the show's 4th season. Either way, we're still no closer to discovering who it belongs to, and if it belonged to the Saviors, surely they'd have utilized it to get out of their sticky sanctuary situation. 7. Has Maggie now taken over from Rick as the leader? Despite Maggie being one of the 3 key targets for Negan, Simon lets Maggie go back to the hilltop after killing Neil. We hardly knew you to continue producing for the Saviors. When she gets back to the hilltop, she kills one of her Savior prisoners and sets to work on fortifying the hilltop against any attack. With Alexandria in ruins and Rick likely to be a bit distracted by the death of his son, does this mean Maggie will take over from Rick as the leader, especially as it seems everyone is heading to the hilltop? We'd certainly be happy to see it. 8. Where will the Alexandrians go after their home was destroyed? Talking of the Alexandrians, the mid-season finale ended with their home in ruins and the surviving people hiding out in the sewers, so where can they possibly go from here? A preview clip of the next episode has the answer as Dwight persuades them to stay in the sewer until the Saviors have finished searching the woods. You're sure going to the hilltop is the best plan? He then asks Rosita, adding, all of you in one place, together. And it seems that's exactly where they're heading after Daryl confirms that they will all be sticking together, adding extra weight to the theory that Maggie could now take over from Rick. With Ezekiel captured, it's possible that the survivors from the kingdom will join everyone else at the hilltop. 2.9. Is Jerry going to be okay? Of course, Ezekiel isn't the Savior's only prisoner, as Jerry is presumably still their captive after Simon threatened to shoot him, but killed Neil instead, and after Simon let Maggie go on her way, we didn't see Jerry again. We imagine this will lead to Jerry and Ezekiel being reunited in Savior captivity, unless Morgan rescues Ezekiel before then. And since the mid-season premiere trailers has Rick and Ezekiel sharing a scene together, maybe poor Jerry will be left on his own in a cell. 10. Is Gabriel really going to die? Eugene's one moment of slight redemption came when he agreed to help Father Gabriel and Dr. Carson escape the sanctuary, giving them a way out after making a guard deal with laxatives and conveniently dropping a set of keys to a car. We didn't see what happens next, but Dr. Carson did make a point that Gabriel is still basically at death's door, so even if they do take advantage of Eugene's generosity, there's a chance that Gabriel might not even make it back to the hilltop, especially if he has to go via Alexandria and discover it's in ruins. 11. Is Carl definitely going to die? Yes he is. Chandler Riggs has even cut his hair. Sorry